You just got your asses whipped by a bunch of goddamn nerds. Nerds!
Peacemaker Day again, episode 6. Love the actual title of this one. Ignorance is Chris, and it fits the episode to a T. One of my favorite episodes of this entire series. I thought it was well done. A bit on the shorter side because these episodes have been close to an hour from what I remember, and this one was about 35 minutes. Almost, I don't even know if it made 40 minutes. Now, while watching it, it kind of seemed even shorter because I was so into the story, and then they hit us with the cliffhanger. And the last time I had that type of feeling where I was so into the story that I lost all track of time because I was so invested was Into the Spider-Verse. I'm watching Miles go, getting face to face, and then I'm just like, and then they stopped it, and I'm just like, oh wow, it's the end of the movie. Like, I just thought it was going to continue to go on. This one had that same type of feel for me because it was a shorter episode, but the story was really good for me. We started off with them, of course, in the best universe ever. They're at a diner. They're with Hardcore. They just finished killing the kaiju. Am I saying that correct? They just finished killing the kaiju.
Kaiju monster it is.
And they're celebrating. 3 kids ask for a picture because they're big fans. Of course, these are the guys of this universe, the top trio, father and his 2 sons. It's a great day. They're complimenting Emilia for being with Chris. Everything's great. They come get some fans approach them for a pic. What did you see happen there? Because for me, I had to kind of read up on that because I didn't really get it at first. I watched the episode twice. They take the picture and then
their faces melted. I don't know. I don't know what it means. If you read up on it, I'm curious to know what you read up on it. If you did,
I thought
I saw the faces melt, and I'm like, okay, maybe it's because Chris doesn't belong there. Kind of like the whole Spider-Verse thing. If you don't have the watch, you glitch. So that's where my head was at.
So what the explanation I heard the most online was because reality is distorting. So that's why the picture began to do that. I didn't get it either, and I watched it twice. It was an eerie looking picture and very weird, but that's the kind of the consensus online was that distorted reality. And we're starting to find out the 11th Street gang is going to not rescue him because he's there willingly. So it's not really a rescue mission, but they want to convince him to come back. And they get to Vigilante's house. And we've been asking for more. I know I have. We've been asking for more screen time for Vigilante, and he finally gets it. This is kind of like a somewhat of a coming out episode because we get to meet his moms. And,
yes, we did.
Let me warn you, she's somewhat of a biatch. It's hilarious to me, and not because he's disrespecting his mother. It's just his personality is really out there, and she seems like the nicest lady. So I don't understand what he was talking about. I remember growing up, I had a friend who yelled at his mother, "Get out of my room!" And I'm just like, I looked at him like he was walking on the ceiling. I couldn't believe he did that. And then you see Vigilante telling his mom to F off. Super weird, but again, it's coming from Peacemaker. So I mean, from Vigilante. I thought it was funny because he was really stressing it, and she didn't seem like how he described her at all. But Puba, were you surprised to see what was in his secret room?
You know, can we go before that? A little bit before that. I want to talk about the room, but I also want to talk about Vigilante's lie about him and Harcourt. I can. I don't. I know. Listen, there's a lot in that room to uncover. We'll peel that onion in just a moment. But my God, I mean, the things he was saying about Harcourt, and the mom there saying there's nothing wrong about being slutty. You listen. The fact that she didn't know he had friends, that she had to play with him Dungeons and Dragons. And she knew her level. She knew where she was at. That was amazing. That was actually one of the funniest portions of that. And Vigilante said she got dementia to come up with the reason why she was saying what she was saying. But the fact that Vigilante was saying that he had a relationship with Harcourt and he had to break up with her because she was too slutty. Like, my God, like, I love that scene right there. I felt uncomfortable for everyone in that room. Everyone. But let's get to your topic. I'm in tears laughing, bro. I'm in tears laughing because that was awesome part of that show. But my God, Vigilante and everything that he's doing, the cocaine, the drugs, my God. Like, he had Adebayo pay for his lunch and he has all this money. When he turned around and they were trying to pocket the money, oh my God. Comic relief at its best. At its best. And you know, Vigilante was like, that's blood money. Like, you ask most people if they walked by, found a bag full of money, are they gonna say, hey, whose is this? That's not reality. But Vigilante sees the world differently. Love him. I'm hoping you like your double dose of this. In this sense. But my God, what a great scene in that room right before they try to open up that door. So, it's crazy to see everything that he had in that room. Like, I'm talking about Pablo Escobar type stuff in that room. Crazy enough. And, Adebayo should have known because she saw what happened when that portal opens up. They got the big booth of cocaine all over them and opening that door. I loved it, man. But I would never use that. That's blood money. Is hilarious to me. Listen, overall, that scene alone was just phenomenal. Phenomenal scene.
Stacks of cash, stacks of blood money in his secret room that his mother's not allowed to follow in. So Adebayo knows how to. She knows how to operate the mechanism that opens the portal. And they get through. They're super impressed with the house because, as you see, once you open up that door, when you pass over into that universe, they're in like a trophy room or something like that for the top trio because they all live there. The father, Chris, and his brother, they all live there. And they're super impressed with what they see. But then the brother shows up. Economos gets locked in the bathroom. Vigilante and Adebayo are in the closet hiding, but they're able to see everything going on. It's tough because she agrees to take a ride with him to Argus, which is super odd because, you're setting yourself up. But on the way, did you see what she was kind of noticing?
No. She was noticing what we were all noticing, how there were no people of color. Mind you, she had the snow globe with her the whole time that was from his dead mother. And I'm not sure if you saw the post-credit scene for that as well, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
But no, the visuals on there are everything that we were noticing. And I know behind the scenes, we were talking about it more. I think this is called like World X in the comic book. And when I did some research on this,
I believe
thank you.
X.
Yeah. So X universe in this case is the same as well in the comic book if you go read that. But man, she noticed. She was eyeing it. And that goes back to Harcourt's in the field training. Like, let me be observant. Let me watch all this that's happening. And she did. She noticed it, hit the nail on the head. where now this is going to be a problem for the most part because something's amiss here. Something's not right, and she notices it.
Well, it's a different. I see what you're getting. That the fact that she's, she's government trained and stuff like that. But Chris is not going to notice this stuff because he's so enamored with the fact that his dad is alive. His dad is not a jerk, and his dad is a jerk. But in this world, his dad is not. His brother, who he's responsible for killing when they were kids, is alive and well. They're well off. So he's not noticing something that, like you said, Harcourt was there for what? An hour, and she already picked that up on the ride to Argus. So because they had that little interaction once they opened the portal, Harcourt gets to Argus, and the dog at the main desk is barking at her because it's a drug sniffing dog, and of course they just got cocaine blown on them. So they have to take her into custody. And while they're taking her into custody, right before that, while he was on his way, Chris just left Harcourt.
In the shower, yeah.
And he was on his way to Argus and sees her getting detained. So they kind of see each other, and he knows that's her because he just left the one of that universe. So tell me what happened. So he asked to go into the interrogation room with her, and what did you see there? Because that was James Gunn kind of gave them kudos to their acting in this scene here, and it was I thought it was pretty good as well.
Listen, without saying anything, you saw how John Cena in that scene as an actor, without saying nothing, you can tell that he knew that was a Harcourt from his universe.
Yes.
Without saying a word. That method type of acting, I'm always going to give props to when you can act without saying a word. So props to John Cena there. Also, Harcourt as well for which is James Gunn's wife. Looking back, and you could tell like the demeanor, the face. And when Peacemaker's brother said, "I've never seen you in black before," as well, right? So all those things now are coming into the thing. She goes into the room. Of course, he has pulled. So he goes into the room where he's not supposed to go to. And he's like, "What are you doing here? Like, what's going on?" And it is, for someone who's in love with someone else, it's confusing. Like, if you're shooing me away, why are you trying to come back to try to get me? It's mixed feelings at 100% level. So I think Peacemaker was in the right to ask this. But she starts putting on him what the reality is and things of that nature. They get through the flag situation between the two of them. They get through what this is. And I think when they're getting into the heat of the conversation, for the most part, they get interrupted saying that she can head out. But she's still continuing the conversation, walking through the hallways like, "You don't notice there's no people of color here?" Which then I think he's when he grabbed the flag from the desk. Oh my God. Like the symbol of hate on the American flag actually turned my stomach just a little bit. So I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that was again, I gotta give credit to James Gunn. This is a very risky story to tell because of what you just spoke about. But we also have to realize this is entertainment for us. It's just a story. It's a show. So I get it. And it's crazy because the theory has been on for weeks about, there's no people of color in this universe. That's why they're happy. That's why his brother's happy. That's why his dad, of course, is happy. Because this is like the perfect world for them.
For them, yeah.
Vigilante.
Oh, yes. Please, let's go into that.
Vigilante, Economos, and Adebayo are left in the house. Vigilante has been hell-bent on finding himself in this universe. And
oh my God, man. Everything he was saying, yeah, okay, you guys do that. I'll go find my partner. That sounds good, but I'm going to go find my other person. He was stuck on that, Pete. I could not believe how he still got away with it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
He finally gets his chance. He gets away from them. They stay behind. They find Eagly in the kitchen. They keep themselves busy with cleaning up after him because we all know that he raids the fridge like he's got the munchies. So he's there eating people food. He's made a huge mess. They decide to clean up after Eagly. Vigilante finds his house, and the same way the door had the same passcode as Peacemaker's. His keys worked. He walked right into the house. So what was funny, not funny, but funny, interesting. He said, "My dad's not gay in this universe."
Whoa.
And but you think about it, you don't know that he's not, but he's not out because of the type of world they live in. That's not something that's gonna be accepted. That's how I saw it when he said that, and I saw it again. I was like, wait a minute. He probably, because you saw he was sitting there kind of stoic, the dad. So I don't know
if I could say something about that, Pete, he might be an undercover brother.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Because he had the hats,
come out because
the little statues that he was laughing at as he was walking through. They were kind of gayish in that sense. As he was walking through, he goes, "Oh, this," as he's pointing those things out. So I agree with you. I just want to say that I actually agree with you. That I think that his dad is undercover.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, Vigilante is still Vigilante. Because that would have affected how Vigilante sees the world.
It's not. It's something that's not accepted in that world. So that's why he may be closeted. He may have not come out the closet yet. So that was, to me, I just found that interesting because I didn't really remember a lot about his things being said about his dad. So that to me was crazy there. He goes down to a secret room. His keys work perfect. Boom, boom, boom. He gets in.
He's Vigilante. He's Vigilante and Vigilante. They're the identical same person. Again, there is a difference here. We'll get into that. But man, that was hilarious to see. And he said it, "I'm you from a different universe." And immediately the gun comes down and they're like stepbrothers. Did we just become best friends? Yes, they did. They did become best friends. They had the same wrong facts about things as well, which was hilarious about animals.
Yes.
Oh my God. When you said you wanted some Vigilante, you got some. You got the double dose of it. And I enjoyed every single moment of it. 100% sure.
They another thing that's kind of trending right now is the fact that they did the Spider-Man meme to each other and they mentioned it. They pointed at each other. They said, "We did the Spider-Man meme." Coolish. That was cool as can be to see that and then mention Spider-Man. Thought that was really cool. But
best multiverse meeting, better than Back to the Future. Maybe not better than Spider-Verse in the sense of all the Spider-Man.
But
maybe second. Maybe second.
They did a good job with Vigilante meeting Vigilante. Awesome. They're talking together on the couch. That was really funny. They're comparing notes. They're getting to know each other, even though they're getting to know themselves. But it's cool scene. Love that. That was a great scene. That Vigilante meeting.
Give us the spinoff. Give us the spinoff.
And listen, maybe he doesn't get a spinoff, but don't not include him in other things. Like, don't do what Marvel has done to Moon Knight. We haven't seen this dude forever. And he's one of the cooler characters that they have.
Yeah. 100%.
We haven't seen Moon Knight forever. Like, are we ever going to see him again is what I feel. Because, okay, he's not in Avengers. Like, what's going on? But anyway, I want to get off track. Would I mind the Vigilante spinoff? Absolutely not. But if they don't, at least have him come up in other projects.
They better not kill him off. That's all I'm asking.
Please. Well, they can because they have an extra one. So if he dies, then
you said it 1,000 times. The multiverse can fix things.
the multiverse is the ultimate eraser. Adebayo and Economos, they're finished cleaning up. Adebayo, weird for me, decides to go for a walk. Thought that was weird.
That one confused me. Like,
but I get it. I get why it happened. It's to set up the story and the storyline, what everybody's been talking about. Like you said, Harcourt brought it up to Chris. Hey, you don't notice there's no people of color here? This is your perfect universe, huh? She threw it right in his face. Love that. I love that. I understand why he's not noticing something like that, because he's got his family. Before he left, he said, I can't catch a break here. So I understand completely why he's viewing things this way, because he just wants to be happy. Look, he's in love with Harcourt. He confessed to her that he's in love with her, but in this universe, she loves me back. I completely understand. Yeah, it's tough because now he's realizing, after it was pointed out to him, dude, there's something wrong here. And then he picks up the flag that was on the desk in Argus. And like you saw, the ultimate symbol of hate was on that flag. So we get back to Adebayo. She decides to go for a walk. And go ahead, Pooba, go ahead.
Listen, if you ever wanted to see what fear of being different looks like, this show really does show it. And they said one got out, so there's multiple people of color in this universe as it stands today. They're just allocated somewhere else that's not in this area where they're at. But it's at the most part disgusting, of course, but there is some truth said in jest at times. And Peacemaker's brother does a hard break, and they're like, I got it. And now everyone's running out. Everyone's running out their house, which is
remember
crazy.
The woman driving by saw her first and was grilling her like, oh my God, I can't believe what I'm looking at.
And she went to the neighbor's house.
Exactly,
she went to the neighbor's house to knock on the door. Yo, listen, just crazy. And Adebayo, who doesn't look like she's on a treadmill too often, she books it.
Could have fooled me. Could have fooled me.
And next episode is that. But it's really, really crazy that whole situation there. But now we know in this particular dimension universe, we don't have Black people as part of society. They're excommunicado from the rest of the world.
Adebayo was hauling ass, and you see the horde that's chasing her, and you see like the first woman, she, like you said, she went to the neighbor's house. He got out, like you said, after he did the hard break, he got out, said one got out, started honking his horn, and they started just coming out of their homes to chase her, which is insane. Oof. We'll get back to that. But back in the house, the dad shows up. Economos is still there. I don't know what he was doing when he just kind of slouched down by the island in the kitchen. Like, he's big as hell. You still saw the top of his head. Like, I was like, he's gonna get caught. Of course, he tries to sneak away. He's in the refrigerator. He takes a beer, hits him in the face. He hits Economos in the face. That was funny. That was
I laughed that one off.
Bullseye. Bullseye. That was
the staircase, yeah.
So Economos was dealing with his own thing back in the house. Vigilante, something we didn't touch on. Well, Vigilante's getting to know himself. One of the things, they were comparing notes and they were checking off every box.
Woof.
And he says, "Oh, is Peacemaker your best friend?" He goes, "What? I can't stand that guy. He's my arch enemy."
Yeah.
Love that twist right there. That was cool. That's his arch enemy. So in this universe, he's a good guy who fights for that group that we discussed.
Sons of Liberty.
There it is. So
Sons of Liberty.
He's fighting with them, and someone had pointed out, it looks like he's making the bombs that they were trying to put in the building when we first seen them.
Yep.
So that's the only thing they don't see eye to eye on.
Yeah, and
but,
you know Vigilante loves him some Peacemaker.
And exactly. He was, and again, the energy they had when talking about their likes, because they knew the other one was gonna like it too. It was a great scene. I mean, you can't say great chemistry because he's acting with himself, but that's the only thing they didn't agree on. So that was a cliffhanger as well. We'll see what happens when they have to confront Peacemaker together. I have a feeling that's going to happen. But we are left off with Outer Bayou being chased by this horde. Now I'm assuming she's running back to the house where Economos is getting, he's getting his ass.
She was running in the opposite direction, the same direction she was walking.
No, I don't know. I honestly I couldn't remember. They did the pan around, so I don't know which way she's running. Again, where else is she going to run?
Okay,
that's the way back home. She obviously doesn't want to be there. And what killed me is that she had a T-shirt that said Brownie on it. Like it was just like, this is so wrong. It was so wrong, and it's just bad luck for her that. Again, but she's also in this situation because she's trying to help her friend. So she's a real one, for real. Before we're done, we have to get to the meat and potatoes of this, of what everybody wants to see, what has been rumored for so long, but we didn't know exactly who it was. But there were rumors that, again, James Gunn has said it, 6, 7, and 8. They're gonna blow your mind, and I think he succeeded already with episode 6. But Pua, what was the last thing that we didn't touch on in this?
Well, episode? There's a couple of things that we didn't touch on. I'm gonna leave the big one for last, right? So Economos spilled the beans that they're from a different dimension.
Oh yes, yeah. Well, yeah.
When he had that knife in his hand, that's not good at all. Like, now we know that this guy knows that this guy killed his son. And oh my God, that's gonna be gut-wrenching to see them face to face. And dad is going to tell the brother. So now where he had his brother and dad's love, the twist on its head is going to come. The other part, Harcourt arrested Harcourt. They both saw each other in the Argus office. That is crazy. And then the last one, Argus, Flag Senior, Flag Sucio in my opinion, but Flag Senior, desperate, goes to Belle Reve. Goes to Belle Reve to talk to the guy that almost split the whole earth, Lex Luthor. And I tell you, man, he plays Lex Luthor to a bomb, man. That is amazing. That is great. Please keep him as Lex Luthor moving forward. Pay that man whatever it needs to pay, because he delivers when it comes to Lex Luthor. He said, you're not going to out-negotiate me. And I love the way he played it. And they're going to wind up transferring him. They're not going to let him loose. They're not saying they're going to give him his freedom, but he's talking about all the things that are happening with the metahumans inside of Belle Reve, and he's uncomfortable with it. The one thing that he hates, metahumans, and they're going to move him now, which is like a godsend to him for right now. But to create something to figure out where this portal is, because he's so desperate on revenge. This is a revenge tour for Flag, isn't it?
Well, he kind of said, remember, last episode he said, I want them to think that I'm focused on revenge so they can let their guard down so we can find that portal generator. But that's why he's going to Luthor, because Luthor has means to find it. Of course he does.
But no, honestly, it was great to see Lex Luthor back in this DCU universe. It's great to see him as part of Peacemaker. Definitely connects the Superman movie directly to Peacemaker now, because what that rift that happened in the Superman movie immediately, of course, also happens here now in Peacemaker, or they think it's going to happen with this rift. So just genius writing, in my opinion, to connect the two and to bring Peacemaker. I am curious of the other people that are cameos that are going to be coming up on this 7th and 8th episode. I have to give it to you. While I wasn't a big fan of this episode, a lot of stuff packed in such a short time. Crazy that they actually did all that with and still including Lex Luthor in this. So, it was fun to see that banter between Flag and Lex Luthor, of course. I just don't want to see Lex. My Lex is in a suit. He's in his company. I want that Lex back because that's my favorite Lex. But him behind bars, you know what's gonna happen, and I'm gonna have to say this: they're gonna get Lex into that universe, and that's where he's gonna create that green suit that we all know him to have in the comic books.
Yeah, that's your prediction.
Yeah, he's gonna get to that door before anybody else. He's gonna close himself off to that technology that's out there, and this is where he's gonna build out his green suit. Again, just kind of early predictions that I think is gonna happen.
Interesting take. So I have a prediction as well. You know how he just said you're not gonna out negotiate me, and Rick Flag said when he said I'm getting out, he said not a chance. I think he negotiates his way since he's gonna help. He negotiates his way free. That's my prediction. Another prediction: we didn't see him. That there was like a little. From what I understand, I saw a screenshot of him in the episode, but he didn't have a big presence. Judo Master. Remember, he followed him in to the portal. My prediction: Judo Master saves Economo from the dad.
Fatty.
Want to thank everybody. We're at 370 subscribers. Thank you all for those who have supported us. If you have not, this is your first time, please hit that subscribe button, bang that bell button so you can find out when we drop something new. Hit that like button. That helps the algorithm, helps it get pushed out to people who want to see what we're talking about. And again, thank you all for the support. We'll see you next time. Peacemaker episode 7. I'm excited for the show. I'm really am. These last 2 episodes, next Thursday and the following Thursday can't get here soon enough for me. That's just me. For Puba, for myself, we will return.
The worst episode ever.